Aswan Cruikshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. Let me address this. Now, normally, when it comes to Stephen A. Smith, I have mixed feelings about him because I truly, as a black man, as someone that has watched him for years, like most people, and he's been on the scene, has been on the public scene for years, I have kind of grown up on Stephen A. Smith and seen him do some incredible things in the world. Obviously, everything I don't agree with what he says, I've gotten to the point now as I've developed my own platform and developed my own voice. I don't even listen to his football takes anymore. As a Redskins or a Commanders fan, I always like when people troll the Cowboys, but still his football takes when it comes to the things he talks about football wise, it's always going to point down to quarterback and, kind of conventional stats. It's never much detail. You could tell he's someone that didn't play the game. And, again, I'm not sure if I should hold that against him, seeing that he just never played. He's done what he can with the platform he's built to bring in people who have played the game and can talk details with the game as well, talk details and emotion and, give solid takes on what goes on in the football field. But I want to address I'm recording this. It is Saturday, October 26, 2024. And one of his recent interviews, this is the week actually that the NBA has officially started, the regular season has started. And now what I do give Stephen A lot of credit for is his basketball takes. I think his basketball takes, I have learned a lot about the game, about the business of basketball. Growing up in the DMV, you're exposed to a lot of the business of basketball in itself. But I do learn a lot when it comes to some of his basketball takes. And, the most recent interview he had with Jaylen Brown on his podcast, I have to give the two of them credit for it. And the reason I got to give them credit for it is because it brings me to actually what today's Move Swiftly thought is, which is the term that they use very frequently, and in my opinion, what the entire conversation was about. And that term is journalistic integrity. All right. So if you can recall, a year ago, Stephen A. got a lot of pushback or got a little bit of resentment thrown his way when he read a text on air about how Jaylen Brown isn't likable to sponsors. And if you notice, Jaylen Brown, again, MVP, champion, has done a ton of things, but you don't see him in commercials. You don't see him doing a lot of the endorsement deals and stuff like that. And he read a text on air that was kind of taken the wrong way because he had a source that said, hey, Jaylen Brown's not likable. And then there was some drama about, state your source. And he, as a journalist, he's not going to state the actual source. He's not going to put the name out there, all that kind of stuff. And there was just a little bit of drama going on. So the two of them sat down on their podcast to address that situation. And the reason I'm talking about it now is because of the importance of actually that journalistic integrity. And one of the things that he has done as Stephen A., even before, I'm talking about years ago, even before podcasting was a thing, I remember he actually had a show named Quite Frankly, where it was actually literally the same format as it is now, when it was him and Allen Iverson, him and D Wade, him and Kobe, Kobe, the late Kobe Bryant, he would have players on this show called Quite Frankly, and he would talk to them and allow them to get their voices heard and hear what's going on. And then you've seen what has happened since then, as he was kind of ahead of the curve and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, the point of me bringing all this to your attention is some of the things I got said in the recent interview between Stephen A. and Jaylen Brown is very important for you as a business owner to understand and for you to apply to your business, all right? Because in many ways, it's kind of coming full circle, all right? The reason journalistic integrity it's hard to even call people journalists these days, because what has happened is his show, the First Take, and, when it was him and Skip Bayless, and the way they used to give their opinions and not actually give facts on show, they would give their opinions, and that, that back and forth is attractive to an audience. It's important that as you develop your own opinions, you're also at the same time able to stay very objective to what the actual facts are. And that's the piece that, in my opinion, gets missed when it comes to the work that he does versus, anyone out there that's just blasting, they're just doing whatever they're putting out on TV. They're forgetting all about the whole journalistic integrity element to it, to where it's an obligation, it's a responsibility that you don't, and especially when you have these major platforms where kids are looking at you and people are looking towards your platform for some reliable information. And if you're spewing lies about a certain person, or if you're twisting certain words and twisting certain clips, that is incredibly unethical. And like I was telling you yesterday in regards to this presidential campaign that we're dealing with, or that we're going through at the moment, so much can be learned from just that conversation between Jaylen Brown and Stephen A. Smith, and so much about what sports can help our young people, because these are two people. Again, one of the things that Jaylen Brown wanted to articulate was, hey, I just wanted to come on here. One of the things he did say is, I want to just come on here and tell you whoever that source was is very cowardice, the fact that he won't put his name out there. And again, he feels rightfully so, even though the person who said what they said didn't say with any ill intent or anything like that. It was important that you just understand the importance of when you start to smear a person's character, and when you start to put these things out there, there's a responsibility to be very truthful. And when you look at a situation, and I'll close you out with this concept because I don't want to get too sidetracked on politics, but one of the things that the Democrats have continued to push is this Project 2025 element, and they've continued to link Donald Trump's name with Project 2025 as if he's the author of the entire 900 pages. That's very deceiving to people, because they know the majority of people are not going to go read all 900 pages. They're going to say certain things, and that is where, again, we can be learning from sports. And as a business owner, these are the things that you really have to think about when you're going out and you're putting your services, putting your products, putting your descriptions, your mission statements, everything that you're looking to build, everything that you're looking to create within your organization. You have to start to really ask yourself, what are the ethics that I'm putting out there? And is it a principle that I can actually really stand on? All right. All that being said, main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, makeyourmove.com. That's makeyaMove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one, Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.